All right, all right. Hello, everyone. We're gonna give it a couple more minutes so more people can join, and we're gonna start. Today, we're gonna discuss AXONE and AYDO, as well as how they can unlock the new opportunities in DePIN and for each other. So stay tuned. We're gonna start in a couple of minutes. All right. I guess we can start. This week, this AMA session gonna be in recording too. So those who missed it today can listen and enjoy. So today, we have Theo and we have Arnold from AXONE. Guys, let's check your mics. Say hi to our audience.
Hey, Alexander.
Hi, everyone.
Perfect. It's working. Alrighty. So, we'll try to keep it roughly 30-40 minutes. And, for those listeners of ours who probably will, listen to it afterwards, let's dig into AXONE. So let's go to your website and just read it from there. So AXONE is an orchestration layer for decentralized AI, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So the question, I'm going to be a little tough on you. Hope you have some great answers. So what the hell is orchestration layer? Just explain it as if I'm meeting this term for the first time and, just talk across orchestration layer. Is it music related or what it is? Go ahead, Theo.
Yeah, so orchestration layer, it's a term that basically means that through AXONE you can orchestrate elements and that we call them resources that are in the off-chain world. So it can be data sets, it can be models, it can be storage, computation infrastructure, it can be basically whatever that is off-chain. You can orchestrate them through AXONE. So, I mean, it's still this big orchestration world. Like why would we do that? Basically, it's the idea of orchestration is that you can, through orchestration, you can orchestrate things that are shared by people and by companies and by basically participants in general. And so the orchestration layer, what it does, basically it solves the problem with sharing these resources. And, let's take an example with data. For example, data, you have basically to share data, you need many things. You need first to be incentivized because, I mean, why would you share data? I mean, it has to have, let's say, an interest for you. It's something you would benefit for. And so you need to be incentivized to share data. You also need the trust to do so because maybe your data is sensible. Maybe it's something that you don't want the public to access completely. Maybe you want to set up some specific conditions to share your data. And so you need the trust element as well. And also you need the composability, let's say the more technical aspect to make your data interoperable with the other data sets. So the purpose of AXONE really is to create this, what we call orchestration layer. So it's a layer one that is very specifically designed to enable this collaboration at scale by orchestrating resources that can be leveraged to train AI models. So again, any data, any model, any infrastructure can be shared.
What I'm hearing is a simplified API. Is it close?
So you can see it, basically you have let's say it's let's say maybe a bit more complex than that, but it's a tool basically to define the different conditions under which you agree to share your resources and your data and to make them interoperable with each other according to the conditions and the rules that you expressed on chain.
Okay. So let's put it as an example. So let's say some Josh Moore wants to do some AI computation and I'm willing to do that, but only if I'm willing to give resources of my computers or my data center, but only if I don't know, he pays well enough. How about that condition? Is that something I can do through AXONE?
Yeah, exactly. This is a simple condition that you mentioned, like for example, a fixed price or even a dynamic price. But you can have very like conditions that can go. Maybe you want anyone to be able to access your data if it has a specific credential, like I don't know, maybe an NFT or a credential that is earned somewhere. Or you can also define, I want my data only to be accessed by specific, let's say, zero knowledge ZK services that will keep my privacy, or maybe you only trust one specific entity to access your data. I mean, it can be anything, any kind of rules and condition that you can enforce, and so on.
And how to ensure that I meet my end of the deal? So let's say Joe comes in and he says, "Yeah, I'm willing to pay the price," and I'm like, "Yeah, sounds good," but then my uptime is 97% of the time or 90% of the time. How do you monitor that?
So this is, if you mention uptime, like for example, for computation, this is something that is, let's say, also something that can be defined on the, let's say, on the conditions and on the of your, for example, the data that you share. So, for example, you can define, I only agree to share my data to, let's say, someone who has at least 99% of the uptime, and you can have a rule that is defined on chain to define to make sure that this person has, for example, staked a certain number of tokens that can be slashed if he doesn't have the specific uptime that is required by the zone. So maybe to take a step back, the AXONE, what it does really, it's giving the tools for people to create what we call a zone. And a zone, it has specific rules that are attached to it. And so it's every purpose, every, let's say, application or every use case that people have in mind, they can create a custom zone with custom rules that can be enforced at the zone level. So if you really need some, let's say, some specific participants that provide, let's say, specific data sets, and some other who you are very strict with which kind of computation resources you need them to share, you can define that as let's say, requirements at the zone level for your specific use case. So you can, as a builder, you can create these use cases very easily.
That's pretty cool. And again, this is more for person who never met orchestrational layers to understand what the benefit is. By the way, guys, do you think you're closer to DePIN or to AI in that matter? Because I mean,
So
at the end of the day, it's like you need computation, you need data, but it all kind of goes towards AI models, right?
Yeah, it's really, let's say, it's what the way we see it is we leverage DePIN to build and inference AI. So it's really connecting both worlds. Let's say DePIN, it has the building blocks. So DePIN, you will have the storage, the compute. I mean, in your case, mostly data from let's say, all the IoT devices, and these building blocks can interact with each other through AXONE to build AI. So it's really in the middle of the two, let's say, and bridging the both worlds.
So kind of in between DePIN and AI, in a way.
Yeah, that's the idea. Basically, maybe a foot in both areas. Actually, it's very connected, right? I mean, you guys at AYDO, you, let's say, define more yourself in the DePIN space, but
Yeah,
obviously
so
it has use cases in AI.
we're more focused on about data streams, so kind of trying to stay niche here, but it's very nice that, connecting between the projects and connecting between different AIs is a work of its own. So if it can be streamlined with AXONE, I think it's amazing. What made you guys start AXONE? How did you come up with this idea?
Actually, it was a few years ago. The founder, Emmanuel, the initial founder, he was working in let's say in data-driven marketing, and there was this huge, let's say, bottleneck with private data that couldn't be shared. basically, and there was a lot of data about, let's say, in the agricultural sector, in farming, that he wanted to leverage for marketing purposes, but it was basically data from accounting that was really private. So he was looking to build a solution, basically to enable people to benefit from their data in a way that they can still control and own the data. So the privacy aspect, while being, let's say, having some value back from their agreement to share these data sets. So it was really solving this trust and incentives issue that at the time. And so the best solution that we found is not to create, let's say, another middleman, another company that can basically control the resources, like you see in a lot of, for example, data marketplaces, where you have one company who aggregates all the different data and packages it and sell it to other people. Basically, we wanted to make that feasible through open source tech that is decentralized. And so to remove the middleman and to make this very so simple and for people to create their own ecosystems. And so the best solution we found was to create our own layer 1 to do so.
So basically what you're saying is it looks like open source is a faster way to make money?
Not necessarily to make money. I think. No, I don't think so. But you know how it goes. I mean, the magic with let's say with crypto is that you can build open source and still, because you have a token and the financial raise to finance your open source, it can be. I mean, it can make sense on the business side of things.
Got it. And again, the motto of our AMA sessions is zero preparation. So are you ready to talk about the token and what value it has and what is the necessity for it, or should we leave it for some other time?
I mean, for our token, let's say our token has many different utility. Let's say it's because it's a layer 1, so you use it to pay for transaction fees. You use it for staking, obviously, because it's proof of stake. You use it for governance as well, on chain, to do the upgrades and to basically define the rules of the chain. And you also use it to exchange value within, let's say, different ecosystems. So it has a lot of, let's say, utility, and obviously it's used to finance also the long-term development of the project through the association that we have in Switzerland. So it's a mechanism to basically fundraise while building completely open source software, and everything we do is completely open source, and everyone can check our GitHubs. That it's very well documented, and so it's a great mechanism to finance public goods, and that things that can be reused by anyone under their own, let's say, requirements. So yeah, I mean, this is very aligned with our philosophy.
That's interesting. I mean, from my perspective, I mean, if you talk to people in Web3, everybody is like, you launch a token, you do your project open source, and it's kind of like the way you just do things, it's kind of a very standard thing. But if you go outside of the Web3 and, you talk to Silicon Valley and traditional startups, that's hard sell, You tell people, I'm gonna put everything out in the open and everything gonna be transparent, and I'm just gonna make money if people use it, I think it's interesting how different the perspective is. Like, did you had a moment of doubt of like, hey, should we do it a Web2 company, kind of just serves the companies, or you knew it from beginning, hey, it's gonna be Web3, we're Web3 anarchists, and let's make money this way?
No, it's I think it. I mean, the question was answered pretty rapidly because of the philosophy. I mean, it's say I mean, Arno can talk about the open source philosophy, but I think it's something that is that makes a lot of sense for us as humans. And so the token side of things made also a lot of sense. Actually, in the very beginning of the project, there was a company. Now there is no more company. We just have the foundation and association, but it's, in the beginning, the company was supposed to have a for-profit product that was basically tailored for companies. So that's, let's say that's strategies that can run in parallel, and that also can make sense. I mean, as long as, and actually a lot of big tech companies, they have open source strategies that also make sense to basically make, open a part of the product and let the community contribute to it. So, but yeah, I mean, the magic thing with the token is that you can be completely open source and still have the means, the financial means to continue to build your let's say ecosystem. And I mean, for a technology like we're building, that is about sharing things that may be sensible, and I mean, it makes complete sense to have complete transparency over how it works, and let people verify if they can.
Got it. So, and talking about AI, so my understanding that your bet is mostly on independent AI companies, or a AI that is sort of like at least somehow community driven, or do you try to serve B2B clients too? I mean, traditional enterprises who are not part of Web3, never heard of it, or just scared about it. So where would you say it
Yeah,
says?
in the beginning of the project, we had a lot of use cases with companies. Mostly it stopped at the proof of concepts, because after some time, I mean, you know how it goes with companies when you want them to have a non-custodian wallet and to interact with let's say a decentralized ecosystem. It gets messy quickly, and they don't want to. I mean, they are mostly afraid of having tokens and the accounting and the it's a legal side of things. So it's sometimes a hard sell. Whereas on the other side, there is, let's say, the more crypto native communities who know all these things, and a lot of builders who are eager to try new things. So right now we are mostly focusing on them, on the let's say the crypto builder and the AI builder that is interested in even from a far away standpoint, but even that wants to know how AI is evolving in the crypto space. So it's mostly on these guys that we're focusing on right now, by say connecting to other protocol like you guys and others who can basically share and share resources, in your case data, but also compute or storage, that makes sense. And right now we have a use case that's called Cat AI. So it's about enabling people to share images of cats to fine tune a model. So it's pretty stupid use case, but the idea is to showcase how AXONE works and what you can build. And through Cat AI, the new different features of the protocol are expressed. So now you can share data, your images in a way that they can stay private, or you can, very soon you will have your own token if you want to create a similar use cases for governance and incentives. And basically we are going toward what we call the AI factory. And so that's an application that we are building that will enable anyone to create their own collaborative AI ecosystem in a few clicks. So like a platform where you incubate projects, basically in a few clicks you will define what are the rules, what is the purpose of your AI zone, and who do you want to contribute to it, and what are you looking for. And so these are the things that will be pretty easy to build on AXONE.
Well, the only question I have is why don't you sound so excited? Because I think you're doing an amazing thing. So you can go out, put out your AI models. You can define rules, find the resources for people to compute it. You can find providers of data, and basically back in the day, you would have to source everything by yourself. You would have to either buy the computational power or, really just go to the big guys, hoping that they're not gonna price you out of your apartments with their prices for the computation. And you just make it easy. You come over, you put out your model, and you have choices on Axon. Am I correct?
Yeah, exactly. So
I think it's very exciting, to be
yeah, it is.
honest.
It is. I agree. It's let's say right now we're in the tough part where we are building, and you know how it's always tough to I mean to work hard and have in the process of launching something. But I mean we are yeah, I definitely agree that it's something if we manage to pull it through and that will happen, it's going to be amazing.
Well, the only part which worried me was if, because we partnered with you. And for those who don't know, we partnered with Axon, and we will provide the data for those AI models. So basically, you guys can connect your data streaming to Axon and just set up the rules, as Theo mentioned, how much you're willing to pay, willing to take for the data. Or we also work on the options where you can see the deals from Axon side and join as a data streamer. But long story short, you will be able to sell your data streams per request to either data sets or AI models, which is an additional market for you. I think it's pretty big.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so regarding the launch, when are we gonna see it? When I can come over and try the platform?
So actually, it's there are multiple aspects. I mean, right now, as I mentioned, it's possible to contribute to Cat AI. So we have multiple sprints with every few weeks there is a new sprint that is launched, and where people can share images of cats to fine tune the model and earn an NFT as a reward. That is NFT that is with the image generated by the model that is trained with the images of the community. But also starting in December, we will have a campaign for airdrop where we will let's say we will allocate tokens for specific communities. And basically the principle of the airdrop campaign is about letting people share some data sets about their community and the project that they are a token holder. And basically these data sets will train different agents. Each agent will have its own personality, and they will debate with each other to decide which community deserves the most of the airdrop. So it's like a competition where the AI agents they define who are the kind of winners based on the data that is shared by each community. So it's going to
So
be a
hold
gamified.
on, hold on. This sounds a little futuristic, little cyberpunk. So AI is gonna make decisions of who gonna get airdrops.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, everybody will have a small portion of the airdrop, but the allocation will depend of the results of the decisions of the multiple agents that will be trained on the data shared by the different communities. So yeah, it sounds futuristic, and it is. So that's why we're pretty excited about the airdrop program as well.
I like projects who try these new things, and I feels like I'm, waking closer and closer to the future every day, in a way, if you know what I mean. I mean, with all the innovation, if you just think like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, uh, this we're looking like, 2200. So like, the things which we see today were, just from science fiction at the time. Um, I think it's exciting. Anyway, guys, again, Axon, AI models, orchestration layer, a go-to place if you want to start your AI model, if you want to contribute your resources. And when it relates specifically to us, it's a way to sell your data streams to data sets on Axon, or to sell the data streams directly to AI projects. So what is exciting, especially from our end, talking like from our perspective, is we were looking like even 2 months ago to get some solid relationship with DePIN projects who are have their own monetization for the data sets and data streams, but the other part of the revenue for the users is streaming to AI models. And Axon is a very exciting pilot project to which we basically going to focus a lot of attention when it comes to real-time data streams to AIs. So really encourage you to follow the guys and to participate in their Cat AI model. Was it? Did I hear it correctly to you?
Yeah, exactly.
Just love it. I mean, you have to test it on something, right? Cats are as good as anything.
Yeah, we're proud of it.
Okay. Out of the, like, when it comes to AI models, especially like as far as I understand, community-driven AI models and individual AI models, kind of, I mean, made by individuals or very small teams. What sectors do you think the demand will come from? What models you do think will be there, like, will cover the most of the market? And again, the reason why I'm asking it is what type of data should our users get ready to stream?
Yeah, so I mean, there are multiple answers. Let's say there is two sides. There is, let's say the one parameter maybe which use cases are, let's say, the most easy to create. So, and the other side would be which use cases provide the most value, right? So the easiest use case probably, let's say I mentioned you leverage and targeting, say, more crypto natives. So right now, for example, you've seen it, right? You have let's say a lot of communities on the meme coin side of things. And so, for example, these guys, they are very crazy with chatbots, with even image models. And so these communities, they can create their own collaborative models, right? So either to run chatbots and for that are very specific to their meme community or their NFT community, with their, let's say, insider jokes and yeah, you can be pretty creative on that, and so to incentivize people from the community to contribute to that model as well. But this is like the value stays limited, right? I mean, let's say most of the value will come from the business side of things, and let's say things that
I mean, our model is like we're trying to attract visionaries who care about money. So I guess the value is what is most interesting, because from our perspective, you have people who are spending their time and spending money. Thanks to AYDO, they spend less money on hardware and multiple times less, but still, they get some hardware. And what I'm trying to figure out is and again, I understand no promises, and it's just like your opinion as a person inside of Axon, as a person who talks to those AI companies and AI models. From your perspective, what type of data is interesting? Is it like noise data? We heard some DePINs are doing noise mapping, or is it the weather data, or maybe something else that doesn't come to my mind right now? So, from our perspective and from our users' perspective, what devices they should be on lookout to get to stream to Axon? Where do you think that value coming from, or on the data side? What data is most valuable to you? You think will be?
Yeah, so you have multiple ways to think about it, but for example, let's say there is a lot of open source data already. So let's say the value of the open source data is, let's say it can have a lot of business value, as a user, but as someone who wants to sell or to, let's say the thing with data is that it can be copied infinitely, right? So once it's open source and once it's available to anyone, it's the value goes basically to zero. And so the thing that you need to look for is data that is not open on the market, and that may be quite specific, right? So for example, I mean, if you think about finance and in the blockchain world, let's say you have a lot of data that is open to anyone, that is on chain, but you also have people who are building things, let's say for example, you see in the MEV sector, where you have a lot of people who are leveraging data that is not yet on chain, that is coming through the different, let's say, RPC or the mempools of the different validators and miners and these kind of things. And so you have to find niche ways to create data that is not yet on the market. And so this on let's say you mentioned devices. I mean, there are a lot of let's say opportunities, I guess, to create these new markets, and to incentivize people to collect some data that is not yet open and free, right?
Yeah, and listen, Theo, I completely agree with you. A lot of people who say, hey, that data from cameras, for example, there are some street cameras worldwide which you can connect and, take the data from. Or let's say, hey, you can get the data about the weather already openly. Like well, what's the value in DePIN? And you said it precisely. That data is available to everyone, and the value of it is close to zero because of that. Now, what I heard from you is, as long as it's not publicly available, it may have value, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, for example, you see a lot of, I mean, in the let's say financial markets, when that's what we call having an edge, right? When you have an edge, it's that you have an information that people don't yet have, and so this is where the value is. It's whatever the data come from, and actually a lot of people from open data manage to package it and to process it in a way that they can extract an edge or an information about, I don't know, from weather. You can basically forecast whether or not there will be let's say less production in wheat, for example, in Ukraine or wherever, and you can basically from that information make a financial decision that can have a lot of value. And I mean the raw data usually you have multiple ways, but sometimes it's not the raw data. It's more like let's extract some useful information from the open data. But sometimes, and a lot of times actually, if you have the raw data that other people don't have, you can
get the edge. Yeah.
Exactly. You can get the edge.
So, all right. So we're going to wrap up, but I'm going to end with a question. Why AYDO? Why are you partnering with us? Why not somebody else?
Yeah. So it's basically, I mean, you guys are a foot ahead regarding the way that you're building the different, let's say, data streams that can be provided by the community. I think it's a good, let's say, investment, in the sense that I think you guys are going in the right direction, and that's it's going to be very useful for the builders on Axon to leverage data from AYDO. So I think it's pretty straightforward. But I mean, on our side, we're really focused on giving the builders the best tools and the best resources for their use cases. And so, I mean, the data coming from you guys will be valuable for them.
Well, thank you, Theo. And for everybody listening, guys, we're doing a beta test whitelisting right now. If you're interested, go to our website. You'll see a form. It will require you to put in the country, the email, and your name. And that will put you in the list of potential participants. And maybe you will be the one selected. We'll see. Give it a try. If you're interested, if you have a Raspberry Pi at home, or even in a laptop that you're willing to dedicate to data streaming, give it a try. Theo, any final message for our listeners?
No, maybe I know you want to say something because I realize I talk too much.
Yeah, I mean,
no, that's good. I want people who come to the AMA session kind of to answer some hard questions. Why are they doing the things they are doing? And where is the revenue? Where is the business there? Because, I mean, DePIN is getting hyped a lot, and we see more projects entering, and I talk to probably a couple of projects every other week, just regarding like potential partnerships and stuff like that. And you don't see that many people who have like real business model underneath, like real value. They know how they're gonna make money. So that's something I'm excited about when I come across, and which was AXONE in this case. And I want our users to learn about what AXONE does. And the reason for that is we are not the one who streams the data to you. You are the one convincing our users to stream the data to AXONE and stream the data to AXONE AI models. So we want our users and listeners to learn about your project and the value it brings. And I think you guys are very market driven in a way that the pricing setup for the data is flexible. The demand is again depending on the AI model. So you have you're a pretty good tool for that coordination. And for people who just have an idea about it, like launching an AI, AXONE can be a go-to place to, bootstrap the things and scale easily. So I think you guys are amazing, and thank you for coming. For everybody who is listening again, we're having a beta test, so come to our website, aydo.ai, and participate in the whitelisting. Maybe you're going to get selected.
Thank you for your kind words, Alexander, and thank you for inviting us. That was great.
Thank you so much, Theo. All right, guys. Again, thank you for listening to this AMA session. If you have additional questions and you missed the live session, just leave some comments underneath, and I'm sure Theo and myself will be happy to answer. All right. Thank you so much, and you have a good day or the evening, wherever you are.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.